Then we're into the most disturbing moments that actually happened from Zack the Films, from seeing a man literally get a rod pierced through his head to seeing children that have pitch black eyes, like they're demons. And by the way, these disturbing moments only get crazier throughout the video.
In 1848, a large iron rod drove through the face and head of a man while he was working on a railroad. It passed behind his left eye and exited through the top of his skull, and he somehow managed to stay conscious while the rod was removed. Now, he did survive this incident, but he wasn't really the same person. You see, the rod went through his frontal lobe, and this area of the brain is responsible for decision-making and self-control. Because it was damaged, his entire personality changed. He became impulsive, erratic, and unpredictable.
Oh my gosh, that is so disturbing, bro. And by the way, y'all, wow, that is so bad. Yo, you imagine your life. I mean, fortunate enough, you was to be able to survive, but a whole rod just through your head. These stories are not fake. These disturbing stories are not fake. Look at this. If you're interested, his name was Phineas Gage, and he was one of the main factors for the comprehension of modern neurology and psychology. We owe this poor man so much.
They cut off his hands.
Great way to start the conversation, Zack the Films.
As punishment, then sent him back to his people with instructions to surrender. But the warrior convinced them to keep fighting. And instead of sitting out the battle, he sealed his wounds with hot metal. Next, he tied knives to his wrists. And when they went to war, he cut down his enemy, including the general's second in command. Eventually, his people were defeated, but even though they lost, the warrior fought till the very end.
This is the most crazy big ball energy you've ever seen. That guy, y'all gotta realize how much pain man was in when he sealed his wounds. Wow. My respect and honest man, Ern is immaculate, bro. And by the way, these stories are not fake, man. They're disturbing, but they're not fake as well. Look at this. Those of you who don't know, he was Galivarian, the Mapuche warrior from South America. He died on November 30th, 1557. Wow.
If you cut off your finger.
Oh, whoa. Nice one, Zack the Films. Always traumatizing us, like always.
Some people think they should put it in their mouth.
Okay, who thinks about putting that cut off finger in their mouth, bro?
To keep it wet. But your mouth is filled with bacteria that cause infection.
No one.
Others think they should put it directly onto ice to preserve it. But the freezing temperatures destroy delicate tissues, making reattachment impossible. And if you try taping it back on yourself, there's no blood flow, so the finger would quickly die. The best thing is to wrap it gently, keep it cool, and rush to a hospital.
Okay, who is some people, bro? Who even puts their cut finger on their mouth? Exactly, no one, bro. 14K people agree to me. No, Zack, nobody believes that. Some people think they should put it in their mouth, bro. I think some people just either just call 911 or just get help immediately.
A female praying mantis will occasionally eat the head of a male while they're mating. Now, the male...
You just hear that? Like, occasionally, a female praying mantis will eat the head of a male. Okay.
Male mantis can still move after losing its head, and this is due to the nerves in its abdomen that can work on their own without the brain. These nerves get activated and sometimes allow the male to continue mating for a longer period of time.
Mating after your head has been cut off? That's some freaky stuff. I ain't gonna lie with you. That sounds freaky. Yo, praying mantis are freaky, bro.
Afterwards, the female mantis has been known to continue to eat the rest of the male.
Eat me! I know, that's wild. Being single as a male mantis is literally life-saving. Yeah, bro. Mom, I don't have a dad. Well, it's complicated. Oh my gosh, I can fix her. Yep, this is so disturbing, bro.
He noticed his nipple leaking out of nowhere, so he went to get an x-ray, which revealed a knife in his chest that he didn't know about. You see, years prior, he was stabbed in the back during a fight, and the knife had slipped through his shoulder bone, falling into his chest cavity without him ever knowing. His skin closed over it and sealed it in. But over the next 8 years, it slowly got infected, eventually forcing the pus out of his nipple. Doctors performed surgery to remove it, and the man survived for the second time.
How did bro not realize that he had a whole knife inside his body? I swear you can just feel it, can't you? You just know where things are, you know what I mean? And hey, he survived, is all that matters.
A woman returned home to find her Doberman choking in the living room, according to the legend. Panicked, she rushed the dog to the vet. who immediately sedated the animal. After dropping the dog off, she went home, but quickly received a call from the vet. He had discovered a human finger lodged in the dog's throat. The vet advised the woman to call the police. When officers arrived, they searched the house, and to their horror, they found an unconscious intruder hiding in her bedroom closet, missing a finger. A woman.
Wow, that's pretty cool. By the way, y'all, I'm now enjoying all these videos by Zack D Films are actually real. Usually in the comment section, there'll be like some sort of like comment saying, oh, for those that don't know, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at this. Yeah, respect to Zack for showing tribute to Sir Rotationplasty by showing his nano and a loyalty video of a dog. Exactly, bro.
A statue of Jesus started weeping holy water from its feet in 2012. Now, no one knew
that's pretty recent. Whoa, that's
where the water was coming from, and assumed it was a miracle. Crowds gathered, collecting the water and touching the weeping statue. But a man discovered that a pipe from the bathroom caused a drain to overflow, and moisture collected on the wall, causing the water to leak. Angered by his findings, religious groups accused him of blasphemy, causing him to flee the country.
Okay, yeah, that's actually absurd. I'm Catholic and like, I'm side of the man. Like, bro, he's blasphemous because he found a leak that contributed to the water on the statue. Yeah, that's absurd, bro. For our Jesus believers, getting hated for revealing the truth is crazy, bro. Exactly, man. Getting hated for revealing they were touching toilet water is insane work. As a Christian, this is not blasphemous or disrespectful. Poor man. Wonder how Jesus would feel. Exactly, bro. Like, come on.
Have you ever wondered how this magic trick was done? You know it probably has something to do with his arm touching the bus, but it's still confusing to look at. Well, it turns out that the simplest explanation is the right one. The secret is pretty straightforward when you start to notice that his right arm never moves.
It's a fake arm.
It's a fake arm. You can also notice the bump in the front of his shirt, which is his actual right arm. The one attached to the bus is actually a metal rod connected to a harness that he sits in. Have you ever wondered how this
that's kind of scary, bro. That's kind of scary.
If someone has bone cancer in their femur, a surgeon will sometimes amputate the affected area, removing the entire middle part of the leg. But they leave the major vein, artery, and nerve intact.
I'm so glad this is animated because, bro, y'all gotta realize how nasty that sounds in real life. Bro, he just removed the whole bone, bro.
Then they bring the lower part of the leg up and rotate it 180 degrees. By turning backwards, the ankle joint essentially becomes the knee. This is because it can mimic the knee's bending motion. And while it might look bizarre, it's actually very helpful for amputees. The backwards ankle fits perfectly into a prosthetic and gives more stability and mobility.
Yo, props to those that have been amputated, because man, that's just so tragic or like very unfortunate to live with, man. That's so disturbing, bro. Oh my. Whoever did the surgery first was an absolute mad lad, bro. This looks and sounds cursed, but it's actually genius and super impressive. Any doctor/surgeon able to do this are some of the most talented people out there. Yeah, bro. That's crazy. Alright, I'm a railroad worker. The thing you learn on the first day on the job is to survive each situation. Don't stand against the wall. Lie down on the ground next to the tracks and close to the wall. There's more clearance space in that spot. The tracks are usually slightly elevated with ballast, and the train is thinner at the wheels lever than higher. Okay, there you go. Have it.
In 1964, a woman lifted up a car that had fallen on her son all by herself. This is called hysterical strength, and it happens when the body releases large amounts of adrenaline in response to extreme stress. This rapidly increases blood flow to your muscles, giving them more oxygen and energy, and it allows for brief moments of incredible strength that are usually impossible under normal conditions.
In 1964, yo, props to that mom, bro. How to be strong? Going to the gym? No. Anxiety, yep.
Inside the assassin's teapot, there are two chambers, one filled with tea and the other filled with poison. If you cover the hole on the poison chamber, it blocks the air coming in, which stops the poison from coming out, so only the tea will be poured in your cup. Covering the hole on the tea chamber will allow only the poison to be poured out in the enemy's cup. Covering both holes makes it so nothing comes out, and pouring with both open allows the two liquids to mix together.
That's so scary. But it's cool to know, bro. The assassin's teapot, that's... Wow. Which one is my glass again? Famous last words, bro.
A woman spilled a McDonald's coffee
Oh my
into
gosh.
her lap in 1992.
That must have been scorching hot.
Now, at the time, McDonald's coffee was served at a scorching 190 degrees.
I knew it, bro.
Which is just 22 degrees away from boiling. The woman ended up needing skin grafts and was hospitalized for 8 days because of the burns. And this wasn't an isolated incident. McDonald's had received over 700 complaints about their dangerously hot coffee. The company faced massive backlash, leading them to finally lower the temperature.
Wow, that's crazy, bro. Fun fact, the reason the coffee was so hot was to hide the poor taste of low quality beans they use. Can't taste anything of it if it's burning hot. Learn this in log. That's crazy. I don't downplay that, but wow, that's insane.
His skin froze before turning black as he rode his motorcycle in the freezing cold. And it was so bad that both his legs had to be amputated.
Anything amputated is just so disturbing to see, man.
But doctors noticed his injuries were too perfect, and the weather wasn't cold enough for frostbite. They discovered he'd actually left his feet in dry ice for 10 hours before he got on the motorcycle. You see, he was convinced he'd get millions in insurance and staged the accident, but he only received around $7,000.
Sorry, imagine doing all of that just for $7,000.
And after he was caught, he had to pay it back.
Yo! Bro really woke up one morning and decided he didn't need legs anymore. I'd rather be broken healthy rather than legless and filled with regret. Exactly, bro. This has to be the absolute peak of stupidity.
In 1998, a 14-year-old girl named Natasha was dropped off at school by her mother, but she didn't return home later that day. Her family contacted the police, but they couldn't find her. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Her parents started to assume the worst. Then, a year later, a local serial killer admitted to the murder of Natasha. Her family was devastated, and 4 years later, her murder trial began. But
4 years later? What?
Right in the middle of this trial, the prosecutor informed the court that after 5 years, Natasha had been found alive.
What?
She was living just 5 minutes down the road from her family the entire time. In 1998,
Yo, this is weird, bro. What? Killer, I killed that girl. Natasha, no you didn't. Missing but living 5 minutes away. There's no way you just didn't know unless Natasha purposely tried to like be secretive from her family.
A fan threw what appeared to be a rubber bat onto the stage at the concert. And without hesitation, Ozzy Osborne picked it up and bit into it, thinking it was a toy. But to his shock, the bat was real. The moment he bit down, he realized the mistake as the bat's blood filled his mouth. He was rushed to the hospital immediately after the show to receive rabies shots.
Alright. Yeah, man. Okay. The bat had no idea how famous it was. Yeah, no, that's just wild, bro. How'd you even bring that into a concert? What?
They say he had a second face on the back of his head. One that could smile, cry, and even whisper terrible things at night. Legend has it that the face couldn't eat or speak, but it was said to laugh when he cried and mutter words only he could hear. No doctor would remove it, and the man claimed it tormented him constantly. And according to the legend, he couldn't take it anymore and ended his own life, leaving behind a chilling note about his suffering.
Wow. That's so disturbing. Whoa, that's kind of... Imagine, you're just sleeping. The back of your head just says, hey. Oh, hell no, bro. His stories are never boring, bro. Yeah, bro, Zack Films videos are just crazy.
If you're in a subway tunnel with
oh my gosh,
most people would panic and run away.
Wait. This is how you survive. He says how to survive in a subway tunnel. There's two ways. You either go on the super side or you literally lay down here. Low-key, I think you actually might die because I think like at the end of the train, they have like some sort of collector or something for some reason. But yeah, let's see.
But you'll never outrun the
obviously,
speed of
bro.
a subway. Instead, you should look for a maintenance alcove, a cutout in the tunnel walls. These are designed as safe zones. If you can't find one, you could press yourself against the wall as far from the track as possible. There might be enough clearance depending on the tunnel.
That's so freaking scary. Oh my gosh.
A spoonful of ashes is taken from the body and sent to the lab. It's sifted to remove any big chunks, then cooked at over 2,800 degrees, turning the ash into carbon. Finally, the powder is spun at high speeds to separate the larger particles, and this is done 3 times until only the smallest particles remain. This fine powder is mixed into a pot of tattoo ink, and the tattoo artist uses this to line, shade, and color as normal, leaving you with a permanent design that contains a literal piece of someone you love.
Wow, that is tattoo ink made from your loved one. Wow, that's pretty disturbing. Imagine you see a person with a tattoo, you be like, oh, you probably have my loved one on there. That's weird. That's kind of weird, bro. You'll always be with me, literally. Hey, nice tattoo. Hey, yeah, that's my boy. I'm not even joking. That's how I'm thinking at pretty weird.
The clams are dropped into a water tank with their shells wide open. But the moment contaminated water flows in, they slam shut all at once. You see, in the wild, clams pull water through their bodies to eat tiny bits of food floating inside. But if the water is too dirty, they instantly close to protect themselves. So scientists attach a small piece of metal to each clam's shell. And when the clam shuts, the metal taps a sensor, and that triggers a warning. This method is used to monitor the water supply for contamination, and as long as their shells stay open, the water is safe to drink.
I don't know about that. Wow, that's pretty interesting.
It has 8-inch armor plating and 5-inch thick windows that can stop any bullet. This is the president's personal car, known as the Beast. You'll get a huge electric shock through the handle if you try to open this car door. And if that's not enough, it can release an oil slick to send enemy vehicles skidding out of control. The Beast's interior can be sealed for chemical attacks, and its tires can even roll when flat. It also carries blood matching the president's type and its own oxygen supply, ensuring the highest level of security.
That's pretty sick, bro. Like, that's really cool. Dang, car, that's a whole tank in the skies, bro. The Batmobile. Finally a worthy opponent, bro.
2 boys walked up to the man's car wearing hoods. He rolled down the window just a little bit as they asked him for a ride, but the man felt an overwhelming sense of dread, like something terrible would happen if he let them in. As he looked closer, he realized that their eyes were pitch black, with no whites at all. He quickly drove away, leaving the boys behind. The man shared his experience online, and soon others began to report similar sightings of eerie children with completely black eyes. These stories fueled a growing legend, even though there's never been any serious evidence.
I think I had enough of these very disturbing Zack film videos that are actually real, so I don't know. I'm gonna end this video. If you guys want to see more content like this, click this video here.